Hello, welcome to the fourth instalment of Cogent's Stumblethrough of Dark Souls Remastered. I hope you're well, I hope you're in a good mental space, and I hope we are nice and relaxed so we can carry on with our nice and relaxed, amateurish and amiable little run through of one of the most fantastic games in existence. And so yeah, we're just going to pick up from where we left off. So we're currently in the Darkroot Basin at the moment. We've just gotten some cool items that increase our poise and also our stamina regen. I've also got loads of cool... oh, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to level up. I'm going to ruddy well level up. Because I have got a big pile of excellent soul wallets that we can pilfer. Otherwise I'm just going to stumble around a lot. There we go. Try and readjust myself. Because everything changes in Cogent Towers, so you'll just have to bear with me. But yeah, I hope you guys are well. And I said if you are enjoying all the well-meaning nonsense that I put on this lovely channel, please do consider giving me a little follow or a subscribe and a like. That'd be fantastic. I'm getting my platforms mixed up. It's all a bit of a nightmare at the moment. So I was a bit two minds about doing this video today, as I'm feeling quite anxious. I'm a long-term sufferer from mental issues, depression and anxiety namely, and the only reason I mention this is because it's okay to talk about, and men's mental health especially is something that is not talked about enough, so we really do need to talk more and be more frank, open and honest about things that are affecting us at any given time. So yes, please bear with me. I will try and be as effervescent and as wonderful as I usually am. But I might be a little bit quieter, but I will do my very best for you, alright? So I'm just going to grab a little bit more HP, because I'm starting to suffer a little bit, and a little bit more endurance. And the reason for that is because I think we are taking a lot of damage which we don't need to take. And that could be solved if I can just get some chest armor on. So there we go, it's quite light at the moment, so if I can keep on, even more then, goodness me. See, 16 is still too heavy. Suffering a bit, let me just... Ooh. Get Starkers. Can we do... Oh, not quite, 15.2, nearly there. So again, what I'm doing there is just making sure that, excuse me, that my equipment load is 25% or 1/4 of my total equipment load. So at the moment, if you look on the right hand side of your screen, it says 13.3 or 14 out of 60, which means that's still within, quite comfortably within my 25%, which means I still get the cool fast dodge, which makes me nice and agile, which is fantastic. So I'm just trying to think about what we're going to be doing today. So actually I'll tell you what we are going to try and do, is we're going to head back to, you remember where we got our poise ring in the last stream? I'm just going to attract these guys over, because once we have sprung that trap, they don't even try to hide anymore. Oh, there we go. So again, remember I haven't warmed up just yet, and that's absolutely fine. We don't have to be perfect, remember, we're having fun first. Just as long as we're nice and relaxed. There we go. You see how that extra stamina regen has really helped us? Also, ow. I'll tell you something I haven't done just yet, is I'm just going to take care of this dude, hopefully, obviously. Bonk, 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 and one final bonk for him. Now, as you can see, I've only got 5 Estus flasks, I should say. So what I am going to do is actually go and kindle this bonfire, because when we kindled the bonfire the first time back in the Undead Burg, if you remember, it was to increase the number of Estus flasks that we have. And that needs to be done for every individual bonfire that you want to use quite frequently. And it is kind of important because it just gives you a little bit more flexibility when you're moving around in that specific area. So there we go, feeling a bit better now. But remember, because we rested the bonfire, those enemies that we just killed are going to be back. Let's see if I can take care of them without getting really badly hurt this time. Let's have a look. Getting whipped, senseless, come on. Come on, there we go. Come on round that corner for me, so I can bludgeon you with my new Morning Star. There we go, and 1, 2. Oh, blimey, all 3 of them So we've come across a bit of a thorny situation, no pun intended. We're just going to do our very best here, okay? Remember, we're not in competition. So I'm just going to back up a little bit. Just see if there's anyone we can clean up on. Although you might tend to notice. There we are. So let's clear those ones down. Oh dear, this is not very good, is it? That's fine, it's okay. Remember, getting these guys, they also quite commonly drop poison moss, which is really useful for us. So make sure, blimey, there we go. There, and that one there. And also I appreciate we are now down to only 6 after that that display. We're going to carry on anyway. We're going to see if we can give you something new to look at. So let's move on down. This area is quite nice and relaxing, I tend to find. In fact, my voice is going to come through very, very quietly because I haven't even moved my microphone. As you can see, I am not really having a very good time of it at the moment. Oh, goodness me. Hopefully you should be able to hear me properly now. I have not been misted away. Right, so let's go and explore this little area of the Darkroot Basin now. So, not only do we have those big statue guys that we saw in the last stream, we also have the tree guys lurking around as well. So we have to be very careful. Because that combination between fast... See, this is very... There we are. Had to work very, very quickly, because that aura that you try to put out there would have slowed us down a huge amount, which is quite tricky. So my advice for those guys is to try as they stand up. There's a certain point where they're invincible, but once they reach a certain height, you can start attacking them and try and get as many attacks in as you can before you... Come on, I know you're a baddie. I'm sure you are. Ah, yes, see. Hello. There we go. We're just going to try and be nice and careful. Because we just want to pick our way through. We want to get some items. We want to get some extra souls. Oh, dearie me. This might be a little bit tricky. So, we're going to run away. We're going to hopefully let the vine go, because they can move much faster. Oh my goodness. So remember, we've got to be really careful with those stone guys. Uh-oh. Remember, not a race. We're not racing. We got a little bit overwhelmed there. It was a very poorly timed dodge, which is okay. It's not a problem. Remember, this game rewards practice and perseverance, so that's what we're going to try and do. So let's just move back through. Oh dear, I'm looking a little bit poorly, but that's fine. So we're not using any summons at the moment, so that's okay as well. So let's just nip into here. We've got to do the same old thing again. So let's attract these guys out. There we are. Lovely, lovely. There we go. Let's try and do that a little bit less. Well, let's say do it less badly this time. And I said it is very easy to get frustrated with this game, which is again absolutely fine. There's no. It's all part of the human emotion. It's okay to feel these things. It's just remember, if you stop having fun, then it's the time to take a little break. That's the only way to do it, really. There we go. See, that was a much better performance than last time. What do you reckon? There we go. And our souls are just here as well. So, pretty good all in all. So let's carry on. Let's try and get to where we need to go and then worry about... Oh, that's not good. Well, we sort of knew that was going to happen. But did you notice that when I was hit, before I would stagger backwards and probably be knocked over? Well, now I can actually stay stood and fighting, which is really, really useful for us. So that's why we got the wolf ring, you know, down that little secret kind of alleyway, essentially. So let's have a look. I'm just having a look. Sorry, if I'm glancing off to the right-hand side, it's only because my lighting system is a little bit new. And I'm just seeing whether or not it's a little bit too bright. And I think it might be. So what I'm going to do, just going to stop here for a second. I'm still on the channel. I'm just going to, very carefully, turn down the brightness there. There we go. Because we've got a lot of sunshine as well in this lovely day today. It was a little bit miserable this morning, but now, like all British people, I love complaining about the weather. So now we're back to it, but that's a little bit better. So let's go and see where we are at. Right. I do love just clobbering people. It's very funny. Come on, fella. In we get. In we get. In we get. There we go. Nice. Again, we're keeping nice and relaxed. Oh. And I'm also moving my chair around an awful lot. And it's not very professional, I know. Awful behaviour. Now, let's go see if we can get some cool things. Let's see if we can attract... No, they're going to be both of them, which is fine. We're just going to try and deal with our... Although they kind of stood up and not noticed me, which is interesting. There we go. Come on in, guys. That's it. Let's not worry. Bum, 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 bum. So we're going to do our best. Oh, dearie me, look at that. So these guys have got quite a long reach. So you've got to be quite careful when you're dealing with these little stone giants. I do want to just get this guy dealt with. Oh, blimey. There we go. Alright, come on then, let's have a look. So we can see, get him to try and run towards us would be fantastic. Typically, he isn't, but that's fine. Not ideal, because now we've been slowed right down, so it's really time for us to speed up a little bit. There we go. You notice how we were just attacking him constantly there. And we managed to overcome his poise, which is really useful. Because that pretty much saved our bacon. So yeah, that's good news. So again, that is two-handed attacks with heavy weapons. You can upset their poise and cause them to stagger a little bit, which gives you just a little bit more room to manoeuvre. So I'm just going to have a little sneak through here. Is he going to be... Woohoo! There we are. So we've got some good toys. Oh, good, here we go again. Oh, but there's two angry vine dudes this time. So, okay, so we're just going to back up. We're going to create our own battlefield. So these guys hopefully are going to jog on towards us. Where did you come from? You silly sausage. There we go. There we go. Again, remember, just be nice and calm, nice and relaxed. 1 and 2 and 3 and maybe one more for luck. There we go. Remember, it's just about figuring out how much damage your weapon does, how fast it swings. Because again, remember, the straight damage isn't necessarily the best stat that you look at. Luckily for us, this young man has gotten caught up on a tree, which does happen, which can make our lives a little bit easier. There we go. Whilst he's faffing around with that, we can, there we go, just finish him off, which is fantastic. Lovely. Bum, bum, bum. Now, remember, so we're actually coming up to a boss now, and this is, it's an amazing boss actually. It's very, very beautiful. It has a very strange way of dealing with it, and hopefully you'll find out why, and hopefully I'll be able to survive so I can show you all of it. But maybe I won't, maybe I will. Who knows? Hello. Oh! Oh goodness, I've never known that. Oh, that's interesting. Let me just try and get a purple moss clump used. There you go. So we actually just saw the mechanics of poison there working for us. How interesting. Avoid these trees. I've never seen that one before. Look, it's a little two-headed lizard guy. Very spooky. Anyway. Before we move on, let's see. Ah, there we are. There. Nice and easy. So, if we had humanity at this point, we would actually be able to create a summon here if we had our humanity back. And she is just tucked under this little bush here. So if you're having difficulty with this boss, so let's just say, I mean, I could well have quite a lot of difficulty with this boss, knowing me. We might actually get some humanity back next time I respawn and summon her in. Because it does make the fight a lot quicker, and you'll see exactly why now. This is one of the most weirdly beautiful bosses with very, very strange music. There she is, look. So what we've got to try and do is, it's very important to avoid the homing ones. There's two different types. As you can see, that did quite a lot of damage even though I was blocking. You kind of get yourself in a bit of a tears, you see, when you're getting hit constantly by a few things. There we go. There we go. It's just important to remember. Just need to remember just to keep avoiding as we can. It's a kind of good idea to keep relatively close. I'll be brutally honest, I'm not entirely confident that I'll be able to do this one, actually, on this attempt, but that's okay. Because what we're doing, because I don't have any ranged weapons, you see, it means we have to wait for this boss to actually land. Which is now. So I'm going to put some special lightning juice on, and I'm just going to give it a good clobbering as much as I can whilst it's there. As you can see, it's starting to wind up, and we need to back away from that, otherwise we're going to get very badly hurt. And the process begins anew. So this can be quite a laborious boss, so it's very important that we just keep staying nice and patient. Quick trick there, okay. You see, that's the thing with the timings. They all home ever so slightly. Oh, blimey, okay. It also does that as well, which I've never seen before, which is interesting. So I have a bit of a problem now, because I'm actually out of Estus flasks. Which means I'm a bit of a speck of bother. Don't know if or not it's going to... Nope, it's not yet. There we go. As you can see, without ranged weapons, it's a very long fight. So what I'm going to do, and what you can do as well, which can be a bit cheeky, if you're very, very quick, which I don't think I am. There we go. So what I have done... After all that... Yes. So what you can do is you can actually use humanity to heal as well. It actually restocks your hit points fully. But remember, you have a very limited supply. So what I'm going to do is get my humanity. And we are going to help ourselves with a friend. Because that is quite alright. Especially if you're very melee focused. It can help you, again, because you're there for quite some minutes. But again, it is okay to suck at these games, because I do, and I'm still putting videos of it online, so what does that say about me? So what I'm going to try and do, and again, this tactic may not work, because whilst I'm giving you a little run through, it's really just a means to help you sort of stop getting lost in this kind of massive game, as well as just give you a few little things that you might not have noticed. You might... so like little secret items. So we're going to just dash past this guy, and what we're going to do, very, very quickly, is touch this summon sign. We're going to summon Witch Beatrice in for us. And whilst she's summoning in... Oh, goodness. That was silly of me, wasn't it? There we go. Lovely. So we now have our friend, which is fantastic. So if you're a sorcerer, as this summon is, this boss really is not going to be a problem for you at all. If you're melee focused, like myself, and you have a very limited selection of weapons, like myself, then it is a little bit tricky. So yeah, we're just going to traverse that white light, and you'll see how quick this fight is going to be as we come in here. Because lovely Beatrice can target this Moonlight Butterfly eventually, and end up doing huge amounts of damage whilst you kind of just avoid. It's my job at the moment really just to avoid all of the magic beams whilst Beatrice does her job, because the magic damage it's very vulnerable to. We can leave her just to do. Look at that, amazing. So yes, if you fancy just completing this game and not trying to be cool or... There you go, I can do my little tiny bit. There you go, I'm going to back off there. Touch up play, there we go. And we're going to leave this going, so that's fine. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about having fun. So I put the summons in to help myself out when I'm having a bit of difficulty, because if I stop enjoying this game then I don't want to be playing it, do I? But that was nice and easy, wasn't it? It was really just about avoiding those homing beams, keeping yourself topped up with health, and as soon as it lands, it's just giving it a good old pummeling with whatever weapon you have to hand. This Morning Star definitely wasn't the right weapon to use, and that's okay. For my next run through, I will definitely be using something else, you see? In fact, what I am going to do is I feel betrayed. So betrayed by my Morning Star. So what I'm going to do... Excuse me, go back to this lovely little thing. My old faithful. And see, that gave us a nice bumper crop of souls. I'm just going to head up this this big tower and you think... Oh, blimey, that's it. That's your whole lot. Watchtower basement key. Gives us a nice new area to explore, which is very interesting. So the Watchtower basement key, if you remember way back where we saw the bridge with the red dragon on top of it, there was a locked door opposite to where we kind of entered that area. That is where we're going, which is very interesting. And what we got as well is a divine ember, which is something that we can give to Andre, who will allow us to ascend our weapons. And we also have a homeward bone, which allows us just to go straight back to our last bonfire, which is fantastic. So we're doing pretty well. Despite everything, despite my performance being less than stellar, let's say, we still managed to come out with a boss down, which is great, a divine ember, and a whole smorgasbord of souls, which is great. Oof. See if we can get him off the cliff. There we go. Goodbye. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to have a potion, don't I? That'd be very silly, wouldn't it? So let's carry on. Oh, blimey. Here's another one. Always the way. And I said, you'll notice, whilst this weapon does not do the same amount of damage as my Morning Star, it does attack a lot quickly, a lot more quickly even. A lot quicker? A lot more? Yes. Words in English. Will you please get off that ledge? Oh my god, not me. Blimey, look at my performance today. I don't know, but it's okay to have bad days. It is okay. Alright, I'm having one of my bad days today. But that's not a problem. And what I really want to sort of get across in my videos is that you don't have to be perfect, as is clearly evidenced. And also, mental health is very important. And if you are feeling down or blue, or you don't have anyone else to speak to, then my private messages, my DMs are always open. You can catch me on Twitter, or on Twitch, or through Facebook, or on my Discord channel, and I am always willing to help. I might not be able to give you all the answers that you want, but I promise I will do everything I can to make you feel hopefully a little bit better. Alright? So yeah, let's just head back to old Andre. Hello. That is a rare ember. Oh, yeah, with a flame. Oh, alright then. I'm going to give them the ember because there's no one really else to give, so that's fine. So let's see. You know what? I might actually. I've been feeling a bit down on my longsword, but I am actually going to upgrade it for the time being. There we go. Let's trust in my longsword for the time being. And I'm going to go and get some cool levels. I'm going to get some more endurance, and I'm probably going to boost my strength a little bit as well. Because I do want to start wearing actual armour at the moment. To be fair, I might even actually just put some armour on and then just take the slower roll. But the thing is, I do love the... Oh! So many choices. In fact, what I can do is, if you notice, we also got the soul of the Moonlight Butterfly. And it says to create a unique weapon, and I'm not sure who does that. If you do know who can use these souls to transpose into special weapons, please do let me know in the comments for the help of the aid of someone else. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to eat it myself. Delicious. It just gives me another little crop. Does that give me enough? No, it doesn't. Which is okay. So what I'm going to do now is see if after all this time I can potentially stay 17, so if I put that on 17 and 16.3. Give me some maths. That isn't still too much, isn't it? Good lord. You know what? I don't think it's going to matter. I am going to take my cool stuff and I'm going to put it on. 28. It's still below half, so we should have... There we go. It's a little bit of a slower run and a little bit of a slower roll, but we'll see if it works for us. But what we're off to go, mainly because this armour does look so cool. And remember, it's all about looking cool as well. So I'm looking good, smiling away. In fact, can I put a helmet on and still keep my... Look at that, let's see. Oh no, I see. As you can see, that is what is termed as the fat roll. As you can see, I'm struggling through. I'm not running very fast. Clonk. And it's quite noticeable. So let's pop down to maybe just... Can we put that down, maybe? Let's have a look. Down to 27. Oh, yeah. There we go. That should be a lot better. Fantastic. Obviously not ideal. We would prefer to have the fast roll. But maybe the damage protection, the damage reduction would be better for us. So let's just see. Remember, you also have to bear in mind how... Oh, blimey. How much getting used to having all this heavy armour on is as well, from your running speed as well as your rolling speed. There we go, not so bad. But I do look pretty cool though, don't I? That's the thing. But I'm just going to have a little manage. I'm just going to see if there's anything that I could do better. So, because if I can get my equipment load down to about 20... 15, 16 or something. No, still not quite there. It's a little bit faster. Typically, I'm going to have to go straight back to... That's 12.9. Hard leather. 13.2, 12.3, 13, 26, 52. So actually, we could technically go with that. And maybe even a hat. Really screw ourselves. But maybe not. 32? 33? No, not quite. But there we go. We've got some slightly heavier armour on at least. And we've got our lovely big nimble roll, which is something that I really, really like. I mean, if you want to use heavy armour, then please absolutely do. I mean, there is no right way to play this game at all. And anyone who tells you otherwise is telling porky pies. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back the way we came. So I'm going to probably... There we Okay, that upgraded sword is actually doing me a lot of favours at the moment. I'm just going to sneak out here. And the reason for that... Oh, blimey. There's a few extra souls, which is always good. Boop. The thing is, did I mean to go this way? Let's have a look. Let's see. Yes, I did. See? Video games. Alright, let's see what we got here. Right. Because, at the moment, what I want to do is get down there. But I also want to use it, could do a cool plunging attack, because it was rad, and deal with these fellas here. Because at the moment, there is a big angry pig down there, who's made of metal. And what I'd like to try and do is, oh yes, actually, what I can do is show you something which I've never used before. So this is something new for me as well. This is something that I've seen people use in like speed runs or no-hit runs. It's called the Alluring Skull. And what this will do, I presume, is attract all of the enemies nearby to that spot. Look. Which is pretty cool, I think. Just want to see if that works. Oh, it doesn't work all the time because you need to be away from it, which is fine. We're learning new things about ults. Oof, blimey, look at that. He's a big lad, isn't he? Okay. Uh-oh. Actually, that kind of works out quite well for us. By accident. There we go. Might as well just get a couple of little... What we're going to try and do is just bypass this big fella. Because, good lord, he's a big boy. Let's see if another weapon might... Oop. As you can see. Just want to see, because I'm just experimenting. So, because we're not getting a lot of damage at the moment on this pig, I'm just interested to see whether or not we're able to just bait this young man out a little bit. There we go. Because we are doing sort of meaningful damage now, which is good. And again, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This is a perfectly legitimate tactic. If you need to do this kind of thing to get through an area, why wouldn't you? Let's switch back to my little longsword. There we go. There we go. And luckily for us, if we ever have to run back through this area, that pig will no longer be there, which is nice. Let's have a look. And I said, at the time of this recording, it is near Christmas as well. I just wanted to make mention that how it can be quite hard for certain people to kind of go through the holidays. It's, especially nowadays, especially with the pandemic, many of us have lost loved ones to it, and it can be extremely difficult. And it is okay to ask for help. There are so many different resources that you can use to help yourself, or to refer yourself over to mental health signposting services. And it is important to look at what things are, what ones work for your country, essentially. But it always helps to talk it through with someone. And so if you want to leave a comment and say that you need some help, I'm always happy to speak to anyone. If they need a mental health debrief, that is what I used to specialise in. Ironically, isn't it? There's a little bit about my background. Is that actually, don't think any less of me, but I was previously in law enforcement, and I actually worked for a youth engagement corps, or sector of that organisation. And a huge amount of the issues that we came across, really, were kids just, or young people, despairing at the world. And with no real outlet, we are kind of taught to bottle up our emotions. And I cannot tell you how damaging that is for your mental health. Keeping it to yourself, manning up, is the most popular phrase that we have. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Ah! Ooh, blimey. I gave myself a bit of a fright there. No, it's fine. There we go. We're just going to run up here. So, what we want to do... just want to see if he's noticed us. If not, then I'm going to make a bally run for it. We're not going to worry about these guys. We're just going to run, 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 run. As you can hear from behind us. Oh no! Oh, isn't that typical? But here we are, you see. That was my mistake to make, and that's okay. Got a little bit too greedy. Too greedy! So now we're going to run, run, run as fast as we can. Don't worry about restoring our humanity just yet as well. What I'm going to do. Let's see if I can be very sneaky and just try and... I don't know why I went that way, actually. I have absolutely no idea. Well, we're here now, so let's carry on. Excuse us. There we are. I'm just going to take a quick right here. So now we've opened the portcullis. We might have a few people following us, which is going to be interesting moving forward. But as you can see, the pig is no longer there, which is fantastic. So we are just going to keep on running. Again, just weave nicely as well. It kind of avoids the crossbow bolts, apart from that one, typically. When we get down here, so it's important for now is that we do deal with these rats because they are naughty little sausages because they do poison us if they end up hitting us. Oh blimey, as you can see, we're a little bit overwhelmed. Oh no! Drink up, drink up. There we go. We're going to be nice and careful, nice and careful. We're going to try and fight our way through here. Let's keep on running, shall we? Drink up a little bit. That was very dangerous what I just did, by the way, so I wouldn't recommend it. Let's actually go the other way. We're going to head back down into the Undead Berg, which is the thing I should have done a second ago. Which was very silly of me. As you can see, the poison is ticking down, but luckily for us, we've got quite a high resistance to it. So what I'm going to do is just have a sit down. Woo! There we go. Definitely performance I'm very ashamed of, but I'm going to leave it up. I'd be tempted if I was like a professional or a cool super pro gamer that I would take all the bits in which I didn't do very well. But I think I don't think that's the right approach. I think we need to, because I want people to play this game so much, because I think it is really special, that I think it's important that people see like demonstrations of this game from people who aren't very good. Okay, we're just going to keep that nice and careful, nice and careful. There we go, we're going to move through here because there's a chap in here. There we go. Remember, it's all about not memorising, but just kind of remembering where certain people have decided to make their home. Go, lovely. Because then if we didn't know where that guy was, we might have been surprised, and that wouldn't have been ideal. Hello. Oh, goodness me. I'm very excited as well. A very, very good friend of mine has just started their Twitch career, which is fantastic, and I know she's going to do absolutely brilliantly. You may already know her. Her name is Lady Ranger Gamer. Oh, blimey. Who does a lot of equestrian and horse breeding games, which is amazing. I myself, I haven't played anything like that before, but her videos are fantastic. She has got such a wonderful way with people, and she's well worth a look. And I'll pop a little link down to her stream for her channel in the details. If you want something nice and relaxing, something that's a bit of fun, and I find her stuff very relaxing and it's very good for your heart. Which again, I know I keep banging on about it, but we really do need to look after ourselves, especially over the winter, when the sun isn't out very much. Or even people in the southern hemisphere, we still need to look after ourselves. There we go, let's go up this way. The reason I'm going up this way is because the enemy density is a little bit lower, and to be honest, I just know the area just a little bit better. And I also don't want to get flamed to death by a giant dragon, which I think is something that we can all take with us as a life lesson going forward. What do you reckon? Well, obviously I'm going to do a bit of heroic vandalism. There we go. Lovely, lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Right, so let's head up. There we are. Run through here. Remember there's two guys on the top of that battlement, as you can hear. Oh, he was quite a good shot, wasn't he? But no, what I've tend to found is that obviously people do bounce off this game quite hard, which I can totally understand. It is because it is so notoriously cruel to you. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is do that. There we go. I'm going to open using the basement key. We're going to leave that little puddle there for a second. I just wanted to see, because you can hear certain noises in the background. And there are occasions where that dragon does sort of take off and leave us alone. I just want to see. Oh, it's scary, isn't it? Run, run, run. There we go. But as you can see, I survived because I was facing this guy. But what he's done is given us a free bunch of souls. So what I'm actually going to do... No, that's just silly. That's just silly. There we go. Let's just go back around. Remember, there's no harm. Oh, blimey. There's a little bit of harm if you fall off that ledge. There's no harm or no shame in doing that. What I'm going to do... So I'm going to keep on at my insurance. Yes, I'm going to keep on my insurance, and that's going to be amazing. There we are. Insurance. Get my endurance up so I can wear heavier armour and be less likely to burst into flames when a giant angry dragon decides that he is going to make a meal of my innards. Excuse me. Thank you. What I might do as well... Oh no! There we go. Just got it in time. I'm going to give a little visit to this. It seems it's very much a meander today. I'm so very sorry. I think it's kind of worth... I know it's a little bit late in the day. But to be honest, in terms of actual progress, this is a much more of a gentle little lope through some parts of Dark Souls, which is absolutely valid. But in terms of raw progress, we're not going to be seeing a huge amount. I'm just going to have a little explore, because this guy, our lovely lovely merchant...
Oh, there you are.
There you are.
Go ahead.
Don't be a nitwit. I love him. He's my favourite. I'm just going to have a look at his stuff and just see if he's got any cool things that I might want. Because, obviously remember that... Oh, he doesn't have a massive amount. Because I have quite a lot of strength...
Hey, what's the matter?
I kind of want to have a look at some more strength-focused weapons. This is very even, which is absolutely fine, but it's not... See, that would be fantastic, but I need 2 more strength, or 3 more strength. And that was okay, but not very good against what I was after. That's good, but very heavy, so let's try that, actually, shall we? Why not? Why not, indeed? 15.3? Ooh. Talk dirty to me. There we go, we've still got a fast dodge, and we've got a cool halberd. Now, halberds are wicked, because it is the age-old adage of spin it to win it. Because if you two-hand these things, you've got a very cool prod, or you've got excellent kind of whirlwind attack, which is really handy. So we're going to just try and practice a little bit with this. Because again, full disclosure, I have not tried it. So let's just see. Oh, hot bananas. Okay, yeah, I'm on board. I'm on board already. I am on the halberd train, and I am loving it. Poke. Where have you been all my life, halberd? Oh, Mr. Halberd, you're trying to seduce me. And I'm hoping this, again, is not so much a, this is what you should and shouldn't do. This is like, oh my goodness, I found something that really worked for me, and maybe it'll work for you. Ooh, I like it. No. Folk! I approve of this message. Hello! Come on up. Okay, I was going to give him a little... Ah, he avoided my spin it to win it. That is a lot of fun, you guys. It is a huge amount of fun. Poke! There we go, and as you can see, it did a lot of damage to his poise as well. Oh, what a nice little weapon this is, eh? Oh, what a very nice little weapon. To the point... No. Let's not worry about that. Let's not worry about that Black Knight for the time being. Tell you what, maybe when we're later on in the game, we'll come back and we'll give him a go, shall we? But tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this... There's a shortcut later on, so I'm going to go and open that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to go after Havel. Because I think that's quite important for us to do. Because I was thinking to myself why I'm having so much difficulty in getting decent armour at the moment. And the obvious reason is I haven't got Havel's ring. So because at the moment my equipment load is about 63, what Havel's ring will do is increase my equipment load by a massive 30. So that's an extra 50%, which is crazy. So yeah, that's why he's very good to get quite early on, so you can actually equip the decent armour and still have some fast rolls and dodges. But let's take a wander down into this hideous town. It's always tempting to leap off these ledges, but you will die, so that is my advice to you. So let's have a gander through here. Now, be wary of monster. That is pretty good advice for everything. So instead of going down that slope at the moment, what we're going to do is head up these stairs to our right hand side. And you'll recognise where we come out in a second. So we're going to follow this all the way up. Ta-da! Here we are. Oh, I forgot I didn't have a proper thrusting weapon. There we go. Give him a prod. So what I'm going to do now, I said... Again, it's entirely up to you, but I am going to spend a little bit of time trying to get Havel's ring. Remember, the important thing that I'm going to be trying to achieve is achieving that proper backstab and avoiding his hugely powerful attacks, because he is a bad news bear. And do that. So this is probably what I'll be trying until the end of the video today. Again, it's entirely up to you if you want to stay with me, because I always really love having people kind of keep me company, which is why I love streaming on Twitch so much. I said usually I'll be streaming today, but at the moment I said my anxiety unfortunately has really got the better of me. So there we go. So what I'm going to try and do is try and maintain that, but it's going to be tricky. Remember, there isn't a race. We're just going to try and get him done. We're going to try and stay nice and calm. Give him a little prod. There you go. Remember, you can just try and learn to see where the downswing takes place, because that is where it's going to start homing in on you. Luckily, he doesn't have very many sweeping attacks. But as you can see, he kind of started off swinging, facing away from us, and then immediately turned to face us, and that's that kind of trap he lures you into. So it's just important to just remember that he's going to be doing that. Naughty little sausage. And just make sure you're out of the way, basically. Because you really do not want to be on the other receiving end, as I've just demonstrated a couple of videos ago. Just making sure we're nice and out of the way. getting a bit cautious now because he's on low health, which I can understand. There we go. Remember, we're just keeping up that rhythm. We're not doing anything stupid. We're not going to try and get greedy with our damage, because that is the main trap that people fall into, is thinking, oh, he's on low health, I could try and get another swing in. And that is the last thing that you want to be doing. See, even then I waited until he had done his strike and he was recovering. But we did it. You see? Fantastic. And it was just really just down to keeping nice and calm, keeping our rhythm up, and making sure that we didn't get too flustered with him swinging that big old dragon tooth around. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this blue tearstone ring. And if we have a look, so it's 15.3 out of 63. Oh my stars, look at that. We can now... It's now 94.5, which is huge. Absolutely huge. Now what we can do is we're actually going to put some actual armour on. What, you say? Maybe not all the super heavy armour, which we do have, because that will still slow us down a fair little bit. But as you can see, even with the halberd, which is a very heavy weapon, we can now just put on some decent gear, which is fantastic news for us. And a huge relief to me. I'm not going to lie, I was concerned going forward. What I'm going to do is probably pop on some slightly lighter trousers. As you can see, we're just going to try and keep our equipment load down. In fact, what I might do is actually just put on the hard leather armour. There we go. Fantastic. And now, 26, oh, a little bit too high. 24.9, still a little bit too high. 25, so we're going to keep the helmet off for the time being. But now, we've still got the fast dodge, but we've got a much heavier set of armour on, which is fantastic. And lo, another area opens up to us, but oh my god. Cogent, it's the same place. I know it is. This is the same area where we got our cool new shield. If we look off into the distance, that little glow at the top there, that is where we came in the other side. So you can see, kind of start to see how this kind of world does link up to one another. But we're not going to trouble ourselves with this area just now, because it is a bit spookerific. We won't have to worry about it too much for now. And when we want to start to do the DLC, that is when we're going to do it. I'm going to run down here and grab that though. So we're just going to nip across. You'll see why you don't really want to be worrying about this place too much. As you can see off in the background there, there's a big old Hydra. And what that Hydra does is fire lots of high pressure water at us from basically in the middle of the lake. Here's a killable monster, and we will be doing that in a future video, but at the moment we are not going to. I'm just going to give a demonstration of what these guys are like as well. Boop. As you can see, they've got quite a lot of hit points. So, and they do have quite different attacks. So this guy's being quite see, there you go. As you can see, little things open up. Again, these guys aren't the worst, but they are certainly troublesome if they end up hitting you, as you can see. But not so bad, eh? Not so bad. But we'll come back to those guys in a little bit, because what we're doing down there is going to be related to the DLC that we're going to be exploring as well. We're going to go through the whole thing, which is crazy. But at the moment, I'm really pleased with our progress. That was really good. So let's have a look. We've got a couple of minutes left. So what I'm going to do is probably just homeward bone back to the Undead Berg. Excuse me. I've just had some lunch. I do apologise. And then we are going to rest up nicely. We're going to level up so we're nice and fresh for our next run. I'm going to up my strength a little bit, because I want to do that little bit more damage and make the halberd count a little bit more. And there we have it. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to treat my future self by getting this done now. So I'm going to restore my humanity, which is good. Mainly because it's just a little bit more pleasant to look at than that hollow, spooky thing. There we go. Look at our guy. Look at Cogent. Isn't he fantastic? He's happy. He's smiling. We've got some nice heavy armour on, cool shield, and a decent halberd, and we killed a boss with the help of our friends, which is fantastic. And yeah, we're going to be doing really good for next time. So thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate we didn't make as much progress as we may have wanted to, but it is okay to have bad days. I'm never going to edit these videos to make it look like that I'm doing much better than I am. I think it's important that we recognise that this game isn't about being completely perfect. It is about practice and persistence. If you did enjoy me yakking on at you whilst you might be watching me in the background as you're at work, or maybe you're just watching me as a cosy afternoon thing, please do consider giving me a little subscribe and a little like. It is absolutely vital for my kind of ongoing growth, and it will really, really help me going forward. But I hope this has helped you a little bit. Remember, if you need to speak, if you're feeling disenfranchised, or if you're feeling upset and alone, you need someone to speak to, I'm always here. All right, and I'll see you next time, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers. Oh, cheers and bye. Ooh.